Operation Savannah was conducted by the South African Defence Force during 1975 to 1976 and was initially meant as a covert intervention into the Angolan Civil War, or what is known as the Angolan War of Independence. The war started off initially with what is now popularly known as the Carnation Revolution, which started in April of 1974 against what was then the Portuguese government in Angola. The period is also marked by UNITA starting to compete for dominance within the region and drawing, of course, their support from the CIA, which will be discussed in later videos on the subject. It finally led, however, to the seizure of Luanda by the FNLA during the first portion of the War of Independence and led to South African involvement simply because of the fear of loss of what was known as the Corridor de Sanitaire, which was a buffer between Southwest Africa and the frontline states. And the fear was that with the loss of the Portuguese government, SWAPO could now seek refuge within the Angolan territory and then attack Southwest Africa from there, a fact which eventually did take place. Covert support, as I mentioned before, was gained from the CIA for this intervention, since they were in support of UNISA in this conflict and many other conflicts during the Southern African Bush War. It started off in conflict with the occupation of the Ruacana-Caligwe hydroelectric scheme and then blossomed from there as the South Africans attacked into southern Angola. The deployment of both Task Force Zulu and Foxbat is well known during this era, and many stories can be told of their exploits and the bravery of the troops involved within these two task groups. The battle ensued in various elements, but can be summed up in four specific battles, which is known as the Battle of Ibo, the Battle of Bridge 14, on which I have already published a video and can be reviewed within this channel, the Battle of Luso, and finally culminated even in a naval event known as the Ambrazet incident, which will be discussed in later videos very well. Although pitched battles ensued, on which many stories can be told, the net success of the event can be summed up as stopping SWAPO from forming bases within the Angolan territory, a fact that didn't remain so over a protracted period of time and finally led at the end of 1976 to the death of 28 South African soldiers and many more killed on the other side, both in FNLA and Cuban casualties, on which many stories will be told in later events and during later publications on this channel. The idea is to, from here on, cover the four major battles, one of which has already been done and can be reviewed on the channel, and after that then moving into the other three events which will be discussed in later videos. I look forward to sharing the events around Savannah with you during these and other events.